Alright, hey everyone, it's Tobiah, aka Toby-Wan Kenobi, and it's time for another episode of my Let's Build. And before I get started, I wanted to say thank you to everyone who liked and favorited and commented on the last video. You were all very supportive of that first episode, and I'm surprised because I've been so inactive for the past couple months. I'm surprised so many people stuck around and were still wanting some content from me. Also, I want to discuss a couple things before I get started on actually building. First of all, the mods I'm using. A lot of questions about that in the comments on the last one. The first and most important mod I'm using is called World Edit. And it is a program that you put in your Minecraft bin. And I'm not going to show you guys how to install these or anything right now, or even give you, to talk about them much. I'm just going to kind of give a list, and I'll provide links in the description of where you can download these mods. But World Edit, basically, it's just a mod that allows you to select parts of the world and change them using text commands. And the most important command, of course, is one that was also asked about a lot in the last episode. It's called farwand. You just open your chat command and do // You hold an item in your hand that's not a block, like a stick or a piece of string or whatever you want. I use a stick all the time. But you just hold an item in your hand, you type // farwand. And now you can use left click and right click to set your two selection points. It's cuboid selection, so you just select one and then the next and see, well, didn't make a cube there. But anyway, yeah, that's World Edit. There's lots of commands for it. You can look them up on the SK89Q wiki, or the World Edit wiki or whatever. SK89Q is the guy who made it. And, okay, next mod is, okay, World Edit doesn't come with this selection box for some reason. Don't ask me why. It needs it. So, there's a second mod that's absolutely essential to make a building. It's called World Edit CY, which means Client User Interface. And it is downloadable in a separate thread on the Minecraft forum, and it is installed a different way, and it needs mod loader. So I'm using mod loader as well. But World Edit CUI is the thing that's allowing me to have this selection box. And the third most important mod is Zombies Mod Pack, which is giving me fly, day-night control, weather control, various other things. Jump control, boing. Let's do some parkour, boing. See if I can get to the top of this without flying. Boing, whoop, bonk. Let's see if I jump. Boing, there. Now I'll jump into that crevice. Yeah. Ah, sweet, did it. That's another feature of Zombies Mod Pack, where you can set your jump height and sprint speed. Well, not sprint speed, but when you're holding the toggle switch, you can set a speed for how fast you run. Zoom, boing. Oh, I didn't jump. Just fell off. All right. Anyway, next mod is single player commands, and it's probably not really necessary for mega building, but it gives you some commands that are helpful, such as setting it to day if you don't have Zombies Mod Pack, or turning off weather, or I don't know, all kinds of things. You guys know single player commands probably. It's one of the biggest Minecraft mods there is. But one thing that's really helpful for mega building is the command reach. You type /reach and then a distance, 10 blocks. Now I can reach 10 blocks. Bloop, long distance reaching. So I can even do reach 200, and now I can break things from far away, or place things from far away, or operate switches, doors, etc. And that is very useful. So, but I like to keep it off most of the time and set it to the default 4, because if you've got your wand out, reach 20, and you try to select something with your CUI, boom, whoops, I accidentally just broke a block. So I like to keep it short when I'm operating, but if you feel like doing intricate work from a distance, single block placement and stuff, then you can extend your distance with that. And next mod, too many items. Very important because you can turn yourself off and on creative mode. Let's get rid of that. What's that doing in there? You can also dispose of items, which I didn't just use. I could have used that. You can turn delete mode on and get rid of them without having to, throw them out in the world. You can do day-night time and stuff with that as well. Bloop. Didn't work. It's not working. Oh, it is working. Is it? Whatever. It does work. I think it might be conflicting with another mod. Set time to midnight. Set time to sunrise. Yeah, not working. Whatever. But another thing too many items allows for, and this is the main reason I keep it on here, because we've got creative mode now to select items. You just drop them into your bar down here from creative mode. But what too many items gives me is their item codes. It overlays item codes on everything, so you know what the item code is for stuff that you're trying to world edit. Like, say you want to do set this area to something weird, like redstone ore. I happen to know that one. Bloop. Instead of doing redstone ore, I could have done 73. Undo. Set 70. Well, I just did 72, but you get the idea. What is 72? Oh, pressure plates. You get the idea. And see, that's basically why I have too many items in there. But it also allows for selection of things that aren't normally available in creative mode, such as water source blocks, lava blocks. You have to use buckets for that in creative mode. And fire, weird stuff like that. A couple other things, I don't remember. But that is why I have too many items in here, mainly the item codes. It even tells you item codes of things that are weird, like you can't just type in, if you type in, here I'll do a column, expand 10 up. If you type in set wood, it does wood planks. If you type in set log, it does regular logs from the basic tree, the original Minecraft tree. But you can't, so you don't necessarily know how to place things like the other types of wood, such as birch wood. But too many items tells you that. Set 17 2. Sweet. So yeah, item codes. That's why I have too many items in there. Next mod, just the basics. MC Patcher and Optifine, just for my texture pack. And because I've got some animated textures in my texture pack, like this redstone torch here, has some sparkles coming off the top of it. And you can't have those animated textures without MC Patcher. So I use that even though I'm using Optifine as well, which also patches your game for HD texture packs. And they are compatible. They don't work together normally, but if you disable, when you're using MC Patcher, if you disable the HD textures box and the HD font box, 2 checkboxes in the patching menu, then Optifine will be compatible with your MC Patcher. You have to disable those two in MC Patcher because Optifine already has those in them and it conflicts. So yeah, they're compatible, and I use Optifine for, of course, the FPS increase. I'm currently running Minecraft at 60 frames per second, even though I'm frapsing as well. And also for things like holding control to zoom. Well, that's the hotkey I've got it set to, but you can zoom in and see stuff from a distance, see stuff close up. And what else does Optifine have? Awesome things like making rain invisible. Oh my gosh, this is a big one for mega building. You can set your view distance to greater than normal. All right, other. Where is it? Far view on. And chunk updates 5. Let's turn that up so it loads chunks faster. And load forest, leave that off. And then set my view distance to far. And we'll just let that load up. I might speed this time up. Oh yeah, it's already lagging. Because this takes a whole lot of resources to load large areas. And even though they're not visible right now, it's trying to load chunks in the distance. But anyway, if you set your view distance to far, and set to far view to on, see it's got numbers here, it tells you how far it can go. If far view is on, your short is 96, tiny is 96, short is 192, normal is 384, and far is 512 blocks of view distance. Distant. Yeah, oh geez, relax. And that is very helpful, especially for filming mega builds, because like you can't even take them all in. Let me turn that off though, because it's lagging me a bunch. You can probably see I've got choppy frame rate. Not even my computer's strong enough for that. Hoping to upgrade my CPU soon. Far view off and normal, just so I can have a higher frame rate or flat frapsing. And the final mod is Raise Minimap, which you can see in the upper right. It is useful because it tells me what direction I'm facing. That's the main reason. It also, helps you keep your bearings with the actual minimap part. But currently, World Edit is messed up. I don't know if it's World Edit actually. It could be the minimap. One of them is wrong because when I... Whoops, that's not far wand. Get rid of that. Currently, when I select an area, say I want to expand that way, expand, apparently I'm facing south, right? If you look at the minimap in the upper right, expand 20 south. What the what? It went east. So one of these is wrong. Either the minimap is wrong or World Edit is wrong. And I'm going to take a wild guess and say it's the minimap because SK89Q has been very dedicated in his World Edit development. And Raise Minimap is a much smaller and less popular mod. But yeah, that's all of my mods, and I'll provide download links in the description. Not download links, links to the actual threads of the mod, which you'll have to follow instructions yourself there, because not only do I not have time in this episode to teach you how to install them, it's kind of a complicated process, especially when you get this many mods, which some of them conflict. So I'll be doing a later video, probably, of how to install these mods. And I'm thinking about doing an actual World Edit tutorial series, like 3 episodes of where I tell you about every single command World Edit has, like some of the weird stuff where you can flip things. Like here's one. Let's make something odd. You can make mirror images. I select this. Go here. Now I want a mirror image of this on that side. So I'll go copy, flip, what's that direction? Flip west, and then you center the flip on the player by typing -P. Now I've flipped my clipboard, paste. Yeah, very helpful for mirroring large things, which I think I'll be using it in this episode actually, to mirror this on the other side, so I can have 2 walls and have an inside of a building. But I'll be teaching lots of advanced commands like that in the tutorial series of World Edit. Replace gold 0. Go away. But I think that's all I had to talk about. No, let me see my list. Oh, changed brick texture. As you can see, I have a new brick texture in my texture pack, so it made things look a little bit different. It's not quite as orangey, and it's much better looking, I think. Nice texture, got some depth to it, some dimensionality. Pretty sweet. And what else? I always put my texture pack link in the description of my videos, so if you're looking for my texture pack, it's down there. And the next update, when I include this brick texture and a bunch of other stuff, will be when 1.2 comes out. So currently you'll have the old brick texture, etc. But when 1.2 for Minecraft comes out, I will update my texture pack to version 16. And the last thing is, a few people were wanting me to build this in the Nether. And I actually did try to start building this in the Nether, just because so many people were like, build it in the Nether, build it in the Nether. I was like, alright, I'll try it, see what it looks like. But I don't like the Nether. It's dark and ugly, and I just like the overworld much better. And also, I don't want this to be that sort of a building, like, you know, the typical fire temple where it's dark and scary and lots of danger and fire and stuff everywhere. I want this thing to be comforting. Like I said, it's going to be a giant lighthouse. I posted that in a comment in the last video. It's going to be a giant lighthouse is what this thing's going to be. This right here is just going to be a long entranceway to a much, much, much larger building. It's going to be a total of 192 blocks high, a tower that's not going to be visible unless you have far distance turned on. You won't be able to see the top of it. So it's kind of pointless as a lighthouse, considering you won't be able to see the shiny on top, but whatever. And also lava usage. Lots of people were like, use lots of lava, and use lava here, use lava there. I don't know if I'm going to be using much lava for a couple reasons. It adds that sense of danger to your temple, and also, which I want to avoid. But it also kind of looks bad on my texture pack, I feel. It's a crappy lava animation, and I don't really like it. Maybe if I had a better texture, I would be more interested in using lava throughout this thing. But I don't, so I won't, and that's that. Actually, I will be using some lava, of course, in some places. I might find some uses for it, but I don't want like lava spigots or rivers or moats or anything like that. Okay, yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about, I think. Let's get started building. Today, I'm going to be doing the roof I've decided on. So before I start a roof, I want to mirror this over to another wall so that I can get rid of this first. Overlay grass. There, fixed. I want to flip this and mirror it on the other side where there's going to be another wall, so that I can put a roof between the two sides. Is that all of it? Yeah. Expand 5 up. Yep, got it. Contract 1 up, so I'm not getting the grass. Now, how wide do I want this entranceway to be? That's the question here. Do I want it to be narrow or something very wide and spacious like the water temple entrance? I'm not sure. I don't want too much time spent on the entranceway. I'd like to get to the main building soon. So I think it's going to be a little bit smaller, about medium size. In fact, that's about a good length for the hallway for the entrance. So I'm just going to go with these 5 windows and proportionally make it about half as wide as it is long, 1:2 ratio. So it is how long? "97 blocks long." Sweet. Yep, 97. So I will make the entranceway half of that, which would be half of 96 is 48, which make it an odd number so I can have a center to it, which is 49 blocks long. Okay, so half of 49, 24.5, 24 blocks long with a center block will be the center. Okay, so from there to there. Okay. That is the center. This is where my entrance door is going to be. Go away, Rain. How many times do I have to tell you? Good riddance. Alright, so this is where I'm going to mirror the entire structure from. The entire wall, I mean. I've got the entire thing selected, so I just go to my mirror spot, center, copy what I've got selected, flip south. Remember, the directions are messed up. I should be flipping east because east is on that side of me, but instead I have to flip south because the directions are wrong. Flip south, centered on me. Now I've flipped it. Paste. Ta-da. I don't know, that seems kind of narrow. Kind of narrow. Oh well, if I have trouble with it like that, then I can just expand it later. Let's get started on the roof. Alright. I've decided that I want the roof to be very steep. Not your normal, 45-degree angle slope. I want it to be a, well, whatever the 2-to-1 ratio, where you go up 2 blocks over 1, up 2 blocks over 1, up 2 blocks over 1. So, I don't know what angle that is. But, and I also don't know what roofing material I want. Let me look at my palette here. Load pal. That's a schematic I saved earlier of all the stuff I want to use. There it is. Alright, let's see. Roofing materials. Sandstone? I'll have slabs to work with then. Don't want anything gray. Possibly nether brick. But I don't know. That's really dark. On my texture pack and on default. On most texture packs it's really dark. Not brick. Already using tons of that. Netherrack? A ruby red roof. That would be pretty cool. I don't know though. You know what? It doesn't really matter right now because I can make material selections after I've already done it. I can just select the entire thing and replace that block with something else. So let's just build it out of... Let's just start with netherrack. Alright, so I need to establish the angle that I'm going to be making the rest at. And in fact, this will go quite quickly. Do I want to start it here, though? That's the question. Yeah, that's a good spot. Up 2 over 1. Up 2 over 1. Whoops. Did I mess up? No. And I just go all the way to the center. Is it right? Yep. Looking good. I don't know, that seems really steep. Whatever, maybe it look cool. And I'm not in danger of reaching a height limit, by the way. Someone commented on the last video that, hey, why don't you build below sea level so that you can start building tall right now instead of having to wait for 1.2. Because, by the way, that's what I'm going to have to do. Before we finish this series, 1.2 is going to have to come out because I can't build beyond the current height limit. Right now, my ground, this is just a flatlands map. So my ground is only 2 deep. And so I have 126 blocks of room to build above me. And before I'm able to build the full 192 high of this, 1.2 is going to have to come out. So yeah, I've got room to build, and we're waiting on 1.2 until we finish this thing, which it should come out before we get anywhere near finished. Alright, where's the center? Which block? This one? Straight up. Yep, this one. Mark it. Too far. Alright, so that will be the peak of the roof. What I'm going to do is just mirror this. Copy. Flip south negative P. Paste. There. Got the other side. Now I will expand 20 that way. Too far. Contract 4. Alright, nice work. Stack, how long was this? 97? Stack 96 that direction. There we go. Alright. So, that, I'm going to put it on far diffuse distance because this is getting big enough that can't really see all of it at once. Lower my frame rate, but whatever. You guys won't notice it because YouTube is limited to 30 anyway. Yeah, that's quite steep, but it should be pretty interesting if I maintain that style throughout the rest of the building. Alright, now it's going to need some sort of edifice. Well, this is the other side. This is the entrance side over here. It's going to need some sort of edifice, like a relief or something up there. So I'm going to need, let's just make that brick for now. How's a clever way to do this? Don't know. Replace 0, 45. So I'll just do it the hard way. I'm sure there's a better way. But I gotta do it the slow way. And you know what? That was kind of dumb because I need to have this roof extend a little bit farther out than the front. But whatever, if I need a hollow, empty area of the roof, I can just select it from one of the back layers. Really, Rain? Go away. No one wants you. We don't like you. You're loud and obnoxious. Alright, now mirror that. Am I in the center? That looks about right. Copy, flip, south, negative P, paste. There. So, yes, I want to... Let's brick up the front area too. That's where the entrance is going to be. Place. Alright, big, ugly, flat expanse. Now I need to add layers of detail to it. So, the entrance door. What do I want it to look like? Might as well just keep going with the arch theme. Even though I've been contemplating, you know what? I kinda do want to change that now that I'm looking at it. The arches are nice, but I'm thinking if I make the top just a straight 45-degree angle on either side, that it might look better. So let's test that out right now. Getting a little sidetracked, but whatever. It's my building play. I do what I want. I said I was going to be building roof, but now I am building wall. And to be honest, this is going to be the norm, I'm sure. Because I never do anything just once. Lots of stuff will be changed many times throughout this series. If you see me do something once, it'll be changed later. I'll do everything a few times before I get it down to something that I really like. Okay, how does that look? Whoops, I gotta replace the glass and gold and stuff. Is that better? Worse? It seems a little bit... It's neater, but is it less interesting? Do I really want this building to be angular? Questions, I do not know. I'm just gonna leave it like that for now and think about it later. Because I kind of like that. I don't know, this kind of gives you guys an idea for the level of thought that I go into for each one of these mega builds. I might sit here for 10 minutes and just stare at this window and be like, and just imagine it on different parts of the building and not come to a decision until much thought has passed. But whatever, I'll just leave this like this for now and come back later. Get back on the roof. I don't know, why don't you guys tell me what you think in the comments? You guys like the arched windows or the angular windows better? Front side. Let's extend this roof out like I wanted to. There we go. Give it a little bit of overhang. What I'm going to do with the roof is let's stack this out for one more block outward from the wall. Because I want to do a material change on the edges of this entire roof. I'm going to change the entire border of this roof to gold, I think. There, I've got a nice gold border on the top of the roof. And I'm going to make it sort of like a frame for the entire thing. And it'll be a decorative frame, so I'm gonna make some weird little things. Every 2 steps up will be a weird little thing. Don't know what to call it. Is that right? No. How am I doing this? Do not understand. Is that right? Let's just mess around with it until I find something I like. Yeah, I like those. But let's put glowstone as the top block on them. See how that looks. Yep. I like that. Now, just add 1 to each level. There we go. Kind of like that. Looks a bit odd in a way. Needs more detail in other areas, I guess. That's what looks weird to me right now. Let's put 1 out this direction too. See what it looks like at night. Let's go at the peak. Something... Yeah, oh, I've got it. This is going to be really weird, but really interesting. Some sort of decorative fin on top. Like a lacy type fin. So, how high do I want it to go? Not too high, but enough that I've got room to do a lot of detail work. That should do it. So, now I need to make a long curve of it to the center. Right there. Come on, select it. The center? Looks like it. Whatever, not a big deal. Okay, that's a pretty nice shape for the fin. So let's get rid of the extra stuff. Alright, so that's a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. But I think that's okay. That's a pretty good look. I thought I was going to take up half the roof with it and make it really decorative and fancy. But let's add a little bit of detail to it. Just leave it like that for now. And do some more of this type of stuff down here. Alright. Yeah, it's starting to look much more interesting and detailed. Alright, yeah. That looks good. But now I am noticing that these lantern things are not as visible as I would like them to be, because the backdrop of the gold is not high contrast enough. So I've got an idea for how I want to fix that. What I'm going to do is I'm basically going to outline the lanterns with netherrack and then outline the netherrack with gold. So yeah, that's much better. I like that. And then I could even do more detail with that by extending it all the way up to the roof. So let's replace all that netherrack with gold. Toby likey. Yep, that's sticking around. So let's select that entire area. There we go. And at each torch, I will paste it. There, that looks way better. Yep, now the lanterns are obviously featured. Kind of draws your eye to them. And the roof has much more detail. But I think at the top, that straight line going up is just a little too undetailed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bottom stuff and I'm going to, oh, this is going to be weird to do. Not sure how to do this. So you know what, let's just do it manually. I was going to just flip it upside down and paste it up there, but I think it would be easier to do it manually in this case. So yep, that's better too. Make it look much more interesting when I copy it down the length of the roof. So let's do that now. There we go. A more geometric design. And it kind of looks like it's supporting the roof in some way. So yeah, I like that. Okay, there we go. I'm going to call this a roof for now. Although, no, there's one more thing I can do up top. And that is, well, this fin, for one, is not as interesting as it could be. But for two, I'm going to add these sorts of things on the top. And there we go. That's my basic roof. I don't know if I like this whole apparatus up here. Looks kind of odd from above, but who's going to see this from above anyway? Except for, you know, everyone who watches the future reveal video of it. Whatever. It's fine for now. That's my basic roof. And now you guys can start to see what sort of style this structure is going to have. Alright, one final pass to show off the finished product. I made a few changes to the roof. I added a checkerboard pattern to the netherrack up there. It alternates between netherrack and nether brick, just to make it more interesting. And I changed the gold spines. I added a few more on the sides, and the ones on top, it's now just a single row and they stand vertically to mirror the fin at the end. Also, I added a little bit more decoration to each panel. I added that little glowstone embellishment up there, which I'm calling a fire flower. But that's it for this session. Next time I will be doing the front entrance and also the interior, I hope, if I can work fast enough. But that's all for this episode. I hope you liked the video, and I'll see you guys later. Good luck, have fun, bye bye.